wonder, Mike, how much different this is going to be since we're using Google instead of Discord for Macs.
I'm instantly enjoying it. I get to. I mean, we could have done video calls on Discord, but I'm like engaging with your face now.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to do them because it was always a shitty connection, so I didn't want to draw more and make it worse. But Google's better. Did you whittle that desk yourself?
I did. I made this entire desk. Hold on, wait, look.
Wow, that is very whittled.
Yes, and this is the unused space. Oh. My used space is what all my shit's sitting on right now.
Very nice. You have more desk space than I do. Although it's
huge.
That's what my desk is like at work.
This is where Allie plays Call of Duty.
When she's poning noobs.
Yes.
You have to get her a DX racer. She's sitting on a wooden chair, Mike.
Well, it's because her office chair's upstairs.
No, you sit and you play on the wooden chair. When you get 20 kills, I'll give you the comfy one. Welcome to Old Fashioned. Cold opening seems to be the way to go.
Yeah.
But getting everything out of the way, as you know, the Rare Drop Patreon is live. You can go to patreon.com/raredrop and check it out. A lot of new patrons, good behind the scenes looks at what we do in certain tiers. So people have enjoyed that, along with, a bit more personal conversations and whatnot. So patreon.com/raredrop. Raredrop.co/store. The Merry Crumble shirt is back in a different fashion for a limited time with our friends at High Score Tees. Where is that link? Because that one's different. The regular Rare Drop store has the old Merry Crumble shirt. We have a limited offering along with the Holiday Home and Hearth, which started today. This episode will go out today on December 4th. We're supporting Able Gamers this weekend. Next weekend, we're supporting Red Nose Day. And Mike and I, and maybe Tim might join us, are going to be playing Surgeon Simulator 2 and giving away a bunch of Surgeon Simulator codes next week, Friday evening. And Tim said him and I should play it in VR, Mike.
Oh, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool.
Well, you don't have Oculus, but Tim and I would play it in VR, and you would use the keyboard and mouse. So
yes, I don't support Facebook in that manner. So
I actually I had a thing with Facebook about GCX stuff, and they were talking to us about doing some VR Oculus stuff, and I was like, here comes the marketing team. I like VR.
I will get the PlayStation VR. How about that?
I don't think it's coming over to 5 from what I've heard.
I thought they were boosting it for 5. I thought there was like a new version coming out for 5.
They said they're discontinuing the old one. I don't know if they said anything about a new one.
Oh.
Last thing on my list before we jump into this conversation, kingscoastcoffee.com. Holiday offerings are out. Coco's 2, buy 2, get 1 free right now. The Coco's so good this year. I made some with Hunter last night. So kingscoastcoffee.com. And United States Postal Service, you're doing a great job. I'm very proud of you. I'm glad you're here to stay, but you lost my coffee package, and I'm down to my last 2 days of coffee. So if you could magically make that appear at my front door, that'd be awesome. Thanks. Yeah, I don't know if they are doing PlayStation 5 VR. They might be, but
maybe not. Did you see the rumors about the new PSP 5G? Did you see these rumors?
Is this like to compete with Switch? Would be my guess.
PSP well, yeah. So
5G.
It's supposed to compete with Switch and Xbox gaming. So what their whole idea is, because Sony bought into the cellular market, so they have stakes in 5G. So they're going to use those connections that they have, and the idea is to create a cloud-based streaming from your PS5 to a PSP 5G.
Maybe. Here's my issue. Oh, my pitfalls with Stadia. I have Stadia. I got it, so I use it. It is a great, for me, extension of my PC gaming. So the ability to lay in bed with a controller and play PC games and continue my progress that I would normally have on keyboard and mouse or whatever, I like that. The problem is its stability. I got it to a stable place for a few weeks. Of course, I had to have my home outfitted with Google Wi-Fi to make it work. But last night I tried to play Watch Dogs, and it was terrible. And I'm getting my plan's 500, and I get, around 450 to 525 up and down. And my ping and packet loss seems fine. So doesn't seem like a me problem.
I guess the only real difference is the resolution that you're trying to push to the screen over said streaming, right? So on the PSP 5G, theoretically, 720 on that little tiny screen is going to look
1080 max,
pretty decent, and it's a lot less to push. The other thing is, you're pushing it over cellular data versus your Wi-Fi or your whatever connection you have there. So I don't know the difference between those, like how much more reliable a cellular, like a 5G plan would be versus your in-home internet. The only downfall, like the major downfall, and I guarantee this is going to happen, is when Sony launches this, because Sony is king of exclusives. There's definitely going to be exclusives based on providers.
Yeah,
and that's gonna suck.
And I think Sony's in bed with Verizon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But
well,
I mean,
at least
like
the last campaign they launched was with Verizon, right?
I believe so.
The Marvel game.
I can do this right now if I wanted
on your phone.
Yep. And I can link the controller if I wanted to and play Destiny on my phone
with your phone as your screen.
Yep.
See, that's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, it has its ups. It just doesn't always work correctly. Obviously, This is still over Wi-Fi.
So what if you were, say, on a train?
You'd have to play it over 5G. I haven't messed with 5G too much. If you see it says checking connection in the bottom, it's a little fuzzy. But
so is that? I guess so. That's the difference. That's where like Sony would step in and the PSP 5G with whatever connection they have, they'd say, "Hey, here's the advantage in using our hardware."
Yeah, and they'd have to have some sort of like I still have unlimited with T-Mobile.
I still have unlimited with Verizon, and I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know why it ever went away. I mean, unlimited was like years ago. That was it. Everyone had unlimited. It wasn't a problem. Then they switched, and they were like, you had to be grandfathered in with unlimited, which means you had to buy your phones outright.
That's what I do.
Because were putting caps on everything, and now these companies are coming back and offering unlimited plans again.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened? Some bullshit.
I'm grandfathered. Danielle and I get unlimited for $89 a month. And they always try it. I walk into the store because sometimes I need to, get a new card or something for my phone. And they walk in the store like, "Oh, you can upgrade." I'm like, "Don't touch my plan. Don't touch a thing on my plan. Don't look at my plan. Just give me the new SIM card and let me walk out." Yeah, because I buy Google phones like you.
My buddy has an AT&T plan. Well, years ago. Remember when they went from Singular to AT&T?
Mm-hmm.
So he had his Singular plan brought over to AT&T, and they did something. I forget exactly what it was, but ultimately they ended up canceling his Singular contract and making him renew.
Ugh.
And of course, the price skyrocketed, and at that point in time, you lost unlimited service.
Ugh.
Which is like, I don't. These companies with these caps, I thought for sure we were going to get. Like ISP providers were going to start coming in and charging you based off of a cap level with the shutdown and everything. I thought for sure that was going to happen.
I'm curious if this PSP, because originally wasn't the rumor like a PSP phone?
Well, I mean, what was it? 2017, 2000?
Yeah, that's what I'm remembering.
18. Well, yeah, they came out and they said Sony is officially done with portable gaming. We're out.
Would the Switch make them rethink everything?
I would assume so. I mean, in all honesty, the PSP was ahead of its time, but there was no development for it. The titles were kind of like half of what an actual full game was. It was like half of a game. That same game, like I remember playing Killzone. You played Killzone on PlayStation. It was a full experience. You played Killzone on PSP. It's like 3 mini missions that you just did over.
There's a PlayStation 5 function on my PS4 now. I haven't tried it yet, but apparently I can play over the same network on my PS4 from my PS5.
Really? I'm telling you right now, if PSP 5G is a thing and launches, I'm 100% buying it.
I'd get it too, because I have a feeling, despite the 5G, again, if you're on the same network, you can probably sit in bed and play PS5 games on the PSP 5G.
Yep. If it still only had the same capabilities as the Switch does, I'd still buy it.
That literally the only thing I use my Switch for is portable. My son uses the dock more than I do. I don't ever dock my Switch because if I can play on my TV, I'm playing one of my consoles that it supports. You're playing 4K.
Something else. Exactly. Yep.
So yeah, Switch is completely, and the only game I really play on there is Diablo now. I know I raved against the controller for years, but it's just convenient. I play Diablo on there occasionally, and Marvel Ultimate Alliance. That's literally it. I don't play anything else on Switch. There's not much for me there.
I do Mario Kart, obviously. I was really hoping for a standalone Mario 64 remaster, but is what it is.
Does Gray play Mario Kart yet, by the way?
Yeah, he does.
Because Hunter and Nate play all the time, Rob's son. So we should probably get them all in some races.
Yeah, he is super into just driving into walls and then just continually driving forward into walls.
Yeah, whatever. They have fun. Like if he wants to do battle, but no, they FaceTime and then they all play. So if you ever want to, awesome. They did it with Colt a few times too. So maybe we can get the WRS Junior thing we always talked about.
He goes to me the other day. He's like grabbing his pants. I'm like, what's wrong with you? My balls hurt. I'm sorry, your what? My balls hurt, Dad. Go tell your mother I'm out.
Tell the audience what your son said about eating his vegetables.
Oh, yes. So I have the hardest time getting my kid to eat shit randomly. So it's like, great, eat your green beans. No. Dude, eat your green beans. How do you think the Hulk got so big, got such big muscles? And he looks me dead ass and goes, gamma rays, Dad.
He's not wrong.
Motherfucker, I can't even correct you. You're right.
Should have went with Captain America
how do you
there.
know gamma rays?
Because of Hulk.
Like, what? But I can't even now correct you on not eating your damn beans because my whole theory just went out the window. Gamma rays, Dad.
So good.
Fucker.
Oh man, yeah. Nate and Hunter though have gotten in trouble before because they get a little bit too passionate while they're playing. So yeah, Hunter got in trouble once because he was like, "I hate you," and we were like, "Okay, you're done. Thank you. No more video games for a few days."
Oh, so he's obviously the more he hangs around other kids and stuff, you pick up things, right?
Yep.
And he started getting into this phase where he's like, I kill you with his little characters and stuff. And we were like, nope, time out. We don't say that. You can say defeat, you can say eliminate. We're not using that vocabulary. Not doing that. And so now he knows he'll say it and then he'll immediately go, I'm sorry. No. I know you're not sorry because you do it all the time.
Oh, children. And then the other one won't talk here. That's our big issue. She just refuses to talk.
She's still cooing?
She doesn't. She like imitates sometimes, but she doesn't have to talk because like her needs are constantly met because we're home all the time. And they say that children.
Wow, I didn't even think about. Yeah.
Yeah, they say that children that first of all, second children don't talk as quickly as first children. Third of all, they don't talk if you're constantly. They don't have to ask for things. And since we know what the grunting and the finger pointing and all that stuff means, she gets it, and we're here all the time. So it's not like she's with babysitters or grandma or whatever all the time that needs to kind of get her to say it. So doctor's not worried. So it's not like she's way behind.
You guys are like experienced at this point, so kind of can almost.
My wife is freaking out because Hunter was talking months before her, but you can't compare kids. It's just you don't do that. It's not a good idea. So yeah, it's we just saw a video of him like 3 or 4 months younger than her walking Danielle's parents' old dog around the office going, doggy, meow, doggy, meow. So he was talking, but she says a few things, but she knows she doesn't have to. So she doesn't care. Right. That kid, Juliet she's She just does whatever the hell she wants. She is the master of her domain. She does not care.
What happens is the quietest ones in the beginning end up being the ones that never stop talking in the end.
Yep. That was Audrey was very quiet as a child, and now she's just
My youngest brother for like the longest time did not talk, to the point where like never said a word. My parents thought, oh, there might be an issue. Like there might be something going on. He might not be able to talk. Until one day he was fishing with, I guess it was my uncle, or I forget who it was. And he comes back and he's like, this kid will not shut up. He just opened up one day and that was it.
Yep. And is he still like that?
Yes. But he's much more relatable now. So
too funny. How's that new microphone? You liking that, Shore? That's what we use in the office.
I love this mic. I love this. I'm still playing around with the EQ a little bit. Not quite, like I'm still tweaking, get a little bit more of that real radio sound.
I was on a conference call with the Lightning this week, and I spilled coffee all over my desk, and it got into my Go XLR. So I cleaned it up real quick, like turned my camera off, and then we were halfway through the meeting, and mid-sentence, my microphone just shut off.
No.
So I switched to my phone, and I'm like trying to figure it out, and then after the meeting, I'm like unplugging, and I don't hear any noise when I'm unplugging and plugging the XLR cable. So I'm like, okay, it's not the cable, and it's not the mic, it is the mixer. So I'm like picking it up and playing with it, making sure there's no coffee in it. I tip it over, and all of this coffee comes out of the side of it.
Dude.
And I'm like, oh no, I need a new one. And I'm freaking out because they're all back ordered and whatnot.
Of course. Well, holiday season and yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get the Mini from the office, and hopefully it's the same software, because I do not want to re-EQ my mic. It is, as you know, it is not a fun process.
No.
So then I'm looking online. I'm like, okay. And I order another one. And then right before my next call, I just turn it back on and try it, and it worked.
Oh. Well,
now I got another Go XLR. I'll just put it in the office because it's the full one with the voice effects.
You might as well just hold on to that, because you watch like some of that like coffee will like wind up sticking in there, and just as the heat builds up, it just keeps on corroding shit, and one day you're going to turn it on, it's just not going to work.
Yeah, we'll just keep it in the office and it'll get used. But B&H, by the way, if anyone's looking for one, was able to find it, no problems asked, normal market price, bing bang boom.
B&H?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep. Amazon was like, you could pay $800 for this one. I'm like, do you know what kind of mixer I could get for $800?
Dude, I was talking to my sister-in-law. She's going back and forth about, buying an Xbox, and she's asking me, what should I get? And she's like, wait a second. What is this? I see Xbox One X, Xbox One S, Xbox Series X, I was like, yeah, I know. Their marketing is god-awful. It's the way that they decide to name their shit is horrendous.
Do you remember the pre-order on Amazon when all of a sudden the Series X, not the Series X, even I can't keep it straight, when the One X had like insane sales the day the Series X went on pre-sale?
Because everyone confused them. Mm-hmm. So she sends me some screenshots, and I'm looking at them, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the Xbox One X is the more powerful one.
Yeah, it's the big boy. Here, I got the box. I'll show you.
And the S is the standard.
Here. Visual aids for an audio podcast.
Yes.
All right. This is the
S
little
has
guy.
The fan on the top, right?
This is the little guy. That's the fan. It sits like this.
Yeah.
And that one's the one I have right here.
Yeah.
And then you have this one that looks like the... Whoops. Everything just
That's
fell
the
out.
Series.
That's the one that looks like the refrigerator, yes. That's the big one.
I want that bad. So, actually, I'm going to ask you a question after this. So anyway, she sends me a screenshot, right? And she sends me one screenshot from Amazon, and then she sends me another screenshot from GameStop. And the screenshot from Amazon is the Xbox One S selling for $560 some odd dollars.
No.
Like borderline $600, right? Then she shows me the screenshot for the Xbox One X from GameStop, and that's like $350. she goes, which one should I get? I said, well, I want you to go ahead and just like whatever you're thinking, inverse it, because that's a scam on Amazon.
100%.
Stay far the fuck away from that. Far away from that. And if you're going to go ahead and spend $400 from GameStop for an Xbox One X, you might as well just get the Xbox Series, the new one coming out,
for
get that.
The Series S is fine. It just has less space in it. And I think it's a little slightly less on the processing power. For me, I keep a million games on, and Hunter uses the other one. So I actually ended up putting the X in my living room and keeping the S in here. Plus, everything I stream gets downscaled to 1080p anyway right now. Yes, in a few years, we'll have 1440 streaming in full 4K. I'm sure Twitch is rolling that out within the next year or two. But for now, and even then, it still will do it in 4K. But then you need a streaming. Oh, well, I have a 4K streaming card. But then I'm going to need a HDMI switch that works for 4K. Like, I'm going to have to replace so much shit when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I went with the Series X in the living room because it's processing power. Plus, according to my wife, it matches the decor better because it's black.
Perfect.
Yeah, you
That's
should
all that
see.
matters.
I'll take a picture after this. You should see it. It's covered in garland and lights right now.
Good job, Danielle. What so is GameStop is the Xbox as difficult as the PlayStation to get right now?
Yeah, everything's impossible right now.
They're equally shitter.
Yeah, everything's impossible.
If I were to like go to say GameStop and throw down money for a pre-order, like the way they do, you pay for the rest when it comes in.
I think you have to wait until pre-orders are open right now. It's that bad.
So they're not even accepting pre-orders at this point.
No, they're announcing when they're accepting pre-orders and when they have stock on sale.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, like, I got a PlayStation right here if you want to offer enough that Ben won't do the giveaway for it, if you really want. I have a Series S too, but we're using it for the giveaway for the current event.
People are paying like $1,500 for fucking PlayStation.
I will say this a million times. It is not worth paying over market value this time at all.
No.
Whatsoever. I know you want something for your kid to open. I know they're excited, but the similarities between last gen and next gen are so, I don't want to say minute. That's not the right word. But the idea that your child won't have enjoyment with their current console versus a new one, even based on the catalog alone, it is not worth playing over market value. I played the next gen version of Madden dropped yesterday for the first time. Oh, I got to try FIFA. I forgot that came out today. So the next gen version of Madden FIFA drops today officially. If you bought the previous gen, you could start playing it yesterday. I played Madden. The look of the game, Mike, is very similar. It doesn't look that different at first glance from last gen. But the minute little things that they changed is where this generation of gaming is going to really blossom. So, for instance, the crowd now is like very alive. That's one of the biggest things in Madden that I noticed. Like, you see people with different shirts making different motions and doing things. They do camera cuts now to the crowd, and they're like high-fiving and stuff after a touchdown.
They have the processing power for that stuff now.
Exactly. Even lighting effects. You know, I think it's the Ravens have like fire when you score a touchdown in Baltimore. Cool. And like, I scored a touchdown, and then it went to the team scene, and they didn't show the fire go off, so you know it's happening in the environment. You hear it go off, and you see the color of the reflection of the flame on their helmets and whatnot.
That's cool.
So it's little things like that. The other big thing was the AI. I was watching Mills last night, and he was doing like slow replays on every play to show what he was noticing was different. So little things like decision making by the defense. So he was playing as the Texans, and he was scrambling with Deshaun Watson. Previous gen, you know, there was a play where the defensive guy would just kind of turn unnaturally and be able to get Watson as he was getting out of the pocket. In this gen, you actually saw the AI decision making of his inability to just turn on a dime, and it actually looked like the human motion of trying to stop so you could pivot and go back the other way to try and make the tackle. And because of that, the play was more realistic because Watson was able to get out of the pocket instead of having this unnatural turn by the defense where he just kind of grabbed him due to proximity. Right. So that's what's changing. The visual enjoyment of the game is not changing that much. When I played Valhalla on stream the other night, you know, I'm playing it in 1080p because that's what I'm pushing it out at, and my equipment is not equipped for me to play 1440 on a console and push it 1080p. So I'm playing it in 1080p. And then compared to my TV, which is pushing it at 1440, it's like night and day, dude. Night and day for me. But for your kid who's just hanging out, enjoying it, do not pay $1,500 for this. It is not worth it. I can't emphasize that enough. It is not. Just wait. Just wait.
And historically, buying any new hardware like that, a console, on launch, it's lacking in titles. I mean,
always,
every time, like there's like every launch, it's always better to wait.
This is an interesting launch because there's not a lot of next gen titles launching. But
I mean, you remember when Switch launched?
Oh God,
Breath of the Wild.
It was so bad.
That was it.
And Mario Kart, but we already had that Mario Kart.
Yeah.
This one is interesting because, so for instance, Valhalla, I put my 1X in my bedroom. I gave Audrey my 1S, and I gave my brother my day one Xbox because we had all of those in the house because that's what I accumulated over the years. The Series X went in my living room. The Series S came in here, and the 1X went in my bedroom. I can play Valhalla, Mike, on all of them. So it's essentially cross save.
Yeah.
But I can load it up on the 1X and continue my save exactly where I left off in that environment. That's the difference with this generation. That kind of stuff is cool. You know, Madden, the next generation came out, and if you own the previous generation, you can keep it on the only thing that doesn't transfer over is franchise mode. Everything else can go between your systems. So you can do your ultimate team on both if you want, because it's all server side.
Right.
So those are the kind of things that I do enjoy about this generation. But then you have a title like Miles Morales, where it's PS5 only. You could only play that. And Godfall. Godfall is only next-gen consoles. So there are limitations in that. But the catalog is not that big, and it is not worth you overspending. I mean, if you have the money and you really want to make your kids smile and it's worth that kind of thing and you got money to kill, maybe consider waiting and donating the extra $1,000 to a charity or somebody that's in need this year because it's a rough year.
But that's exactly, you're paying an additional $1,000 for this product.
And you're encouraging
paying an additional $1,000 for something that doesn't even cost $1,000 to begin with.
You're encouraging terrible, terrible, terrible market habits too.
Well, did you see how much they were charging for 3090s? The scalping for 3090s was insane.
I'm not fucking touching that.
It was over $3,000.
I'm not doing that. I can wait on the video cards. Like, I have a 2080 Ti. I have never once had my computer yell at me that it was having an issue.
I'm still running a 1080 Ti and having no problems.
Yeah. So I'll get a 30. I'm not going to get a 90. I'll probably get an 80 at some point. But the rush is, I don't really care that much on that end. Plus, like I said,
to be honest with you,
go ahead.
The way AMD is stepping up to the plate.
Yeah.
And I mean, if they're this close for this gen, I can't imagine. NVIDIA's got to be sweating right now. So I'm hoping maybe when the 4 series comes out, they might over-engineer it similar to the way that they over-engineered the 10 series because they have to edge out. AMD's a contender, like a real solid contender now. So making NVIDIA work for it, I'm glad the price drop happened in the 30 series, but making them work for it a little more, 40 could be a really, really good series. Maybe it's worth waiting another gen.
And if you go by the 10 and the 2, wasn't it only like a year between them?
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
Yeah,
it was not very long. And between the 10 and the 2, if you had a 1080 already, it just unless you just wanted the newest card, which is fine, but it just the performance you were getting for the price difference, it didn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. The performance boost you were getting versus what you were paying for the 20 series cards, you were better off staying with the 10 series if money was a factor, if you had a budget. If you didn't, just similar to the PlayStations, if it just doesn't matter to you, then it doesn't matter to you. It's fine. You burn the money however you want.
Exactly. I agree with you. Again, I'm in no rush, so I'm going to see how this plays out with video cards. I got my console. Honestly, like I keep saying, because of my lifestyle, my setup, and everything, I'm becoming more of a console gamer anyway. So that might change my habits with PC part buying and whatnot. I love having a good PC, don't get me wrong. And if I was able to play games in my living room on my television, yes, I know I'm capable of that. Thank you, person who's getting ready to tweet and tell me that that's possible. I understand that. I'm talking about my lifestyle, my home. If I try to put this Zydax PC on the console outside in my living room, I would be sleeping on the couch for a while. Mike is nodding his head. He understands what I'm saying right now. So take that into account. The Series X seems to be what I need so far. Small drawbacks. Cyberpunk comes out next week. The next gen version of Cyberpunk doesn't come out until next year. So it makes
that's sad face, man.
It makes me second guess getting it on console. I am sure it's still going to be beautiful on console. I am sure it's still going to be a great game on console, but I will miss out on those little extras that I described with Madden to you just now, without the next gen version. But I still think I'm going to get it on console because it's just mega convenient, you know?
Yeah, I may even. Well, I think what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start, like right now, prices of RAM have dropped, like really, really good. There's really good deals. I was talking to Wayne, he was looking at upgrading some parts, and as I was looking over some of the RAM sticks, I was like, geez, I might as well buy 64 gigs right now and just set it aside, because I'm going to start buying parts for a second PC build. It's not going to be anytime this year. I mean, maybe late next year at best. I mean, again, I'm kind of willing to wait till the 40 series NVIDIA cards come out. So I'm not going to complete the build till I decide on my GPU. But when I see prices of RAM drop like this, fuck it. I might just throw them in the back and just start slowly accruing parts again.
What do you think?
Get ready for another build.
Do you think the trade-in value on PS4s and Xbox previous gen is going to be garbage because you can play
I've already looked them up. The PS4 Slim, you're getting about $140 for trade-in.
Oh, that's actually
the
not
Gen
bad.
1 PS4, you're getting about $100 trade-in.
That's pretty good.
And the Xbox One X, you're getting more on both of those, I believe.
I wonder when that will drop.
Well, that's kind of why I was
Stock
asking you about.
Maybe?
Well, so I was asking you about the GameStop pre-orders, because I kind of want to take advantage while this price is still pretty, where the trade-in value is good.
If you see a pre-order, do it. Honestly. Because that's people are trying to get on that because they can't get their hands on the on sales because of bots.
Well, that's kind of what I'm like. I'm not going to do this online. I'm not going to pre-order online. I'll go into the store.
Your problem is I don't think you live in a hot spot for distribution on the physical consoles right now.
No, I don't.
So a store in your area might get like 20. Rather than a store by me that would get, 40, 50.
Right.
That's stores by accurate. Pete and Wayne, and they're going to get like 100. So it's all based on buying power in the area and, where they can get the most bang for their buck. But Xbox is great this time around. I'm really happy with it. Game Pass is I'm already lining up some games to play on Game Pass that I've never played. And I'm excited to. A lot of the EA stuff I've never played Dragon Age Inquisition. I never finished Mass Effect Andromeda because of all the drama. Andromeda.
Yeah. I have that game as well, and I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, but it's all there, and I can just play it on Game Pass, as I go along when there's not new titles out. So it's pretty cool. I love Valhalla though. It's. Have you watched Vikings? No, you said you haven't, right? Yeah.
No.
They announced yesterday that the second half of season 6, which is the final season, so these are the final episodes, is going to hit Amazon on December 30th before it hits. Was it December or January now? I don't remember. Before it hits History Channel, who makes the damn show.
How? Did you see the HBO? You guys who posted
HBO
the
Max.
HBO stuff, right?
So I found out if you have an HBO subscription now, you do have HBO Max. That's what I'm reading everywhere now. I can't keep up with this. I don't know the truth.
I hate the way that they do it. I hate it.
Just make HBO Max it. Like, you get it all. Why are we dividing it up as a cable station? They should HBO, I don't know the revenue split, so I'm speaking out of my ass here. But HBO should it's December 30th for Vikings. HBO should separate entirely from cable and just be HBO as a standalone app, in my opinion. But they might have some pretty lucrative cable contracts that they don't want to give up. So I can't just speak out of my ass on that one, knowing that there's money involved. But I honestly don't know. I think I have HBO Max. I'm going to play with it later on the Chromecast and see if I actually have HBO Max.
I have to look. I know we had HBO. I think we still do.
Apparently, if I have HBO through Amazon, I have HBO Max. That's what I read yesterday. So my goal is to figure out if I actually have HBO Max as a standalone app, because I can get HBO on my Amazon account. Danielle purchased it. I don't know if I have HBO Max, though.
Here we go. After searching and constantly getting it sent to the wrong fucking site, trade-in value for the Xbox One X, $175 currently. So what I'm thinking, maybe if I just do like trade-ins, get store credit, let the store credit sit, and then roll the store credit over on a pre-order.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm gonna call my local and see what they say. I'm like, listen, bitch. Give me my shit. I can't believe they're still doing trade-ins. But I was like, please. Like, what do I need a Gen 1 PlayStation 4? Like, I have the original, my original PlayStation 4 that I got, all like pointy edges and all. Big fucking rectangle pancake. I don't need the big rectangular pancake anymore. Please, GameStop, stay in business for like another year.
They've managed to last this long. I know they've moved their business a lot to collectibles and things like that.
I just saw their stock went up. It's now $17.
Yeah, which is more lucrative probably in the market that we're in. You know, I was never a digital. I always liked a physical case, but ever since I got into the business, I had no choice but to do digital. And now during the pandemic, I would imagine that digital is king over physical. Especially because shipping delays and whatnot. You know, you hear people get their packages for new games 2 days after they come out right now. So,
dude, I went. So I have Sekiro on Steam, but I bought a physical box pre-ordered a physical box from GameStop just so I could have the box art for a Steam game.
I know. I used to love, because I like displaying it and I like the spine.
I love the box art. I like it a lot. I don't know. And I like having the disc. So for instance, Dark Souls 3, I can take my physical copy and say, hey man, try this game out. That's not a game that you want to just buy blindly. Like, if you don't like it, you just wasted $60. So here, I have a copy. Try it. If you like it, get it. It's probably like $15 now. But I have the ability to lend out titles. You don't do that. You can't do that with digital.
You're right.
That's my biggest. I just like having that ability. Or like my brother will buy a game, and maybe I want to run through that campaign, and so we'll swap games.
I think you can do that with Xbox.
You know what? If anyone's going to allow you to do it, it's Xbox.
I think it's Xbox. Did you hear Phil last week? What he said?
What did he say?
He said that the worst thing for the gaming industry is console tribalism.
Yeah.
That is the head of Xbox.
So, I mean,
he's the guy trying to marry PC and Xbox right now, which I appreciate.
Yeah. It's good. I
want to see, and I don't even mind if it's a delay, but I'd be interested to see if any PlayStation's exclusives make it to Xbox this year.
I want, at the very minimum, some PlayStation exclusives coming to PC. I know Horizon did.
And Days Gone did too.
I would love to see a Bloodborne port.
Bloodborne, Last of Us.
Be incredible.
I downloaded Last of Us on my PS5, Mike, and I was like, as much as I want to play this next gen, I don't know if I could emotionally handle going through that again. Because Last of Us
downloading, I'm gonna go ahead and put that on pause.
It's such an emotional drain, that game, because it's and I know the ending, and without being revealing, it's Last of Us. You don't really get to smile and be happy.
So
there's resolution,
the tribalism,
but you don't get to be happy.
The tribalism, I totally, that sucks. How do you feel though about first party exclusivity? Because I get it from a business standpoint. I get it. You've invested into this title. You've invested into the development. And it's your money going into a product. You want to see a return on that. So I get first-party exclusives. It sucks when it's an IP that was universally experienced and then reduced down to one console.
I just think after a year, you should open up the doors.
Well, why not? After your initial rush of sales,
right? You
have that, right? You have that. Now you're opening up to a wider player base. So you're still bringing in the money after your hardware launch. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess if it's like multiplayer games, you miss out. Like if you're a year behind getting guns to a certain point, or
in like a Halo or something. I don't think we'll ever see Halo on PlayStation.
So since everyone knows the Destiny thing, but you remember Destiny 1 with the PlayStation exclusives versus the Xbox and how long they had to wait, and it's like, I don't know, that kind of felt shitty. That's like a universal experience that people got to play, but you were locked out of content. Or say there's like I don't know. What else could there be? Like some other type of universal experience that everyone gets to, like a movie or a show or something like that gets turned into a game, right?
Yeah.
Everyone experiences it, but then it's locked down to a single console. Well, that sucks. In those instances, I get it.
But yeah. I get it. They put the development money into it. They put it behind it. I understand it. I think at some point it should open up everywhere, though. I mean, you'll have another rush if you sold Halo on PlayStation 2 years later or a year and a half later,
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Did you see the Master Chief Fortnite leak?
Somebody I just saw. I haven't seen anything specific about it.
Yeah, there's a leak showing Master Chief in skin in Fortnite. And now a lot of people are making the joke that the Master Chief Halo stuff looks better than it did in the Infinite trailer.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Did you see
they got Kratos too, and they got
oh yeah, Kratos. I saw that.
And the Mandalorians in it too.
If you didn't think Epic had more than enough money to begin with, not only are they in the middle of a lawsuit against fucking Apple, but they have the money to drop on Mandalorian, God of War, and now Halo.
I think they have a deal with Disney because they have all the Marvel stuff too. And they have DC.
That's big. That's big money.
Nobody else has that.
Big money. Like, I'm still interested to see how this lawsuit pans out.
Yeah. Is it next year? They're going to trial, aren't they? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, the judge wasn't. At least I haven't really been keeping up on it as much as I was, but it didn't seem like the judge was very impressed by Epic's arguments.
Yeah.
It's like
not surprising.
No.
Especially, was it Epic? I think it was Epic where the CEO likened this lawsuit just to the civil rights movement.
Yeah, I see. I personally, I think he's just insanely disingenuous about the way he presents things.
Yeah. I would agree.
Yeah. Like, I get where you're coming from, and trust me, I'm not an Apple fan. Like, by no stretch of the imagination, I am not an Apple fan, and I get it. But yeah, I think he's a little full of shit himself.
Back to HBO Max, we skipped over something when we were talking about that.
What did you find?
That all of the Warner Brothers movies in 2021 will be available on HBO Max the day they release in theaters.
Yeah.
At no extra charge.
What? Yes. How?
Money. HBO's got a shitload of money. Now, the original question I had, and I said this in our chat, was HBO Max is not in, a lot of stuff's not in 4K. It comes out in 1080p. But HBO is saying all films will be released on HBO Max in 4K, Ultra HD, and HDR. So
here's my question to you going into 2021.
That includes Dune, by the way. Dune at home, bud. Boner jams.
I just answered my own. You just answered my question.
Oh, I did?
I was going to say, what going into 2021, what chance do movie theaters even have anymore?
I'm telling you, the only surviving movie theaters will be the one that deliver that experience, like you said, the movie tavern experience.
Yeah,
that's it. Those are the only ones who survive, because that is they can come back and they can play with food margins and drink margins to keep you in, going to the movies. The movie theater experience of popcorn and that whole thing, it's going to die. Yep. And our kids are not even going to ever have that experience like we had.
Yep.
And it's weird, but I honestly don't love that experience. I don't.
Well, so what they need to do, they need to turn it into a more of a grandiose thing. We were in Texas. There was it was same idea as like a movie tavern. So you have the same type of seating, same food service, same everything. But I mean, it was this massive, like, glorious movie theater where it was multi-tier floors. There was a full-fledged bar and restaurant. There were billiards. They had pool tables everywhere. Like, it was not just a movie experience, but you would go and you'd have like a time out, like a nice evening out, and then you would slowly transition into your movie. So it was a massive event going to that place. And you need more places like that are actually going to save like cinema in that way.
Cinema's not going to die. Like the idea of a group going to watch a movie,
viewing it in that experience,
right? Because drive-ins are back, and they're going to stay back. I'm telling you right now.
That's so cool.
That's what everyone says. Why did they go away?
Yeah, it's so cool. I'm so happy to see it. We used to go to Cape Cod, and they had a drive-in there.
Yeah.
So you get the double feature and just back up. It's awesome.
Drive-ins are going to make their comeback, they are back. I should say a lot of them are back. There's a few in my area that you can go to, and the movie tavern dinner. I should say the dinner and a movie experience is going to be packaged as one. Movie theaters themselves.
Yeah, but they need to step the dinner quality up. It can't be like a fast food quality.
The one by me is
like
awesome.
A bar quality.
It's called Cine Bistro.
Same. It's phenomenal. But I think in order for them to kind of make up the difference, it's got to be like it's got to be a step above just like bar food in a movie.
Yeah, no, the Cine Bistro by me is regular dinner, a full cocktail menu, wine lists. It's down if you're in the Tampa area. It's in Hyde Park. It's called Cine Bistro. That place is fantastic. It's great, and that's where we saw Frozen 2. And you pay for it. It cost me $120 for me, my son, my daughter, and my wife. But it's a good experience.
Tell you what, even like movie tavern, like if you have off during midweek or something like that, or just happen to be able to swing that, man, matinees are still $10-12.
Yep.
To watch the movie. I mean, granted, you're paying for your alcohol and food, but $12 to see a movie. The matinee prices are still pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I agree. It's that is the way now. That's not to say in 5 years when there is some normalcy back in society in place, that someone doesn't open a movie theater like, hey, remember watching a movie?
Yeah.
That'll probably happen
when we
too.
did it like this.
Yeah, but the prevalency of these monoliths of the Lowe's and the Regal Cinemas, and that's gonna AMC, I think, is another one. Those are gonna take massive hits and either readapt into the dinner and a movie style, the drive-in style, whatever it may be, or they're going to die. Those are the two options. And it's not like you can sell off your company at this point, because who the hell is going to buy it unless you sell it for pennies on the dollar?
The other companies, I don't know if there's any legitimacy to this, but these like big chain gyms, like LA Fitness and stuff. Did you? How many of those are closing down?
Some of the, I think it was Regal or something, closed all of their. I can't remember.
But I mean, I can't imagine that it'd be very easy for like massive gym chains like that to be able to keep going in the very similar fashion or the very similar way that these movie theaters, because you can't have people like cramming in like that. So you're not getting, people are canceling their gym memberships. I mean, there's a massive spike in home gym equipment.
Peloton's like freaking killing it right now.
Like huge. People invested in their home, just as, you know what, now that I'm saying this, just as everything else, just like businesses realized, oh my God, I don't have to spend rent on this big fucking office space. You can have a lot of employees work from home. A lot of people can do that. It's very capable.
Not my company.
No, but like, so these companies are realizing that they can do this shit in the same manner. People are realizing I don't have to pay the gym membership. And in 2 or 3 years, what I would have paid in a gym membership, I've paid off in gym equipment. And now I'm good to go.
Gyms are going to take a hit, but I also think gyms had crazy overhead to begin with. So I don't think they'll be as bad. Plus, return to normalcy again in a few years. I don't think gyms will bounce back. Gyms will close 100%, but the ones that survive will survive, in my opinion. But
there's always new gyms opening up.
The home fitness industry has exploded, and people are not going to want to change that ease and habit of working out at home. 100%.
It's super nice, man. The only reason
2 Peloton vans in my neighborhood in the past 2 months.
I believe it. It's like, so we were looking at buying a bunch of gym equipment, and where I live right now, it's just not conducive to a home gym.
Yep.
And I told her, I am not buying all those weights just to then move them. I am not moving them. So the next place that we buy, because we are selling the place we're in now, we'll have either I will be constructing a fucking garage, or we will be having a garage put up and the gym will go in there. No stairs, nothing. I wanted the fucking truck that drops the equipment off to just drop it in the driveway, and the driveway right to the garage. Done.
I need something for strength training at home. That's been my biggest issue. I'm trying to rely on yoga to do the strength training, because you basically use your body weight against yourself, which works.
The biggest issue with that is strength training requires space. Yeah. Equipment requires space.
I'm running out of space in here. I don't have much.
I know. You'd almost have to take your studio and eliminate it,
which I won't do. I do want to get rid of the garage door opener and do drywall in here and turn it into an actual room like Tim did with his.
There you go. Dude, they make a ton of really nice fold up benches that fold right up into your wall.
That's kind of what I've been looking at.
But
there's also the one with the screen that works kind of like Peloton that changes the resistance for you automatically.
Oh, the magnetic resistance.
Yeah, that one. That one too, because that one just mounts on the wall, and then all it is the bar.
Well, it's nice. I mean, if you were to get the bench press that kind of folds up, and something like that where it's kind of like a cable fly.
Yeah.
You just you created a ton of workout circuits for yourself just with those 2 pieces of equipment.
That's all I really need. I'm not trying to be huge. I'm just huge. I'm trying to I'm just trying to tone a bit. That's what I need to do is, Cardio's good, and I could do more of it and get off some of this fat, but I need a tone. That's my biggest thing. And normally I would go to the gym with someone, so I could go with Tim. Tim goes to one right by my house, but Tim goes at like 5 a.m, and I like that extra half an hour of sleep. So, and I physically can't go to bed any earlier. I'm in bed by 10 o'clock now at this point, for the most part.
10 o'clock's a good time to be in bed, just to be done.
Yeah, even
the day.
My master class with Bob Iger, he freaks me out because he's like, I spend some time with my wife from 10 to 11, and then I wake up at 4. And I'm like, oh my God. Because that means even on the nights you don't get good sleep, you're only probably getting 4 hours of sleep.
Yes.
And that blows. So I always like to give myself a buffer so I can at least try and get 6 hours of sleep. Because I believe that's the recommended minimum, I think, for a good night's sleep.
Yeah, quote unquote.
It's like 6 hours-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. It's amazing because I joke with Danielle, we'll be laying in bed, and it's like 10:15, 10:30. I'll be like, you would just be getting ready to go out now. She's like, remember, you couldn't show up to the bar till 11 o'clock because that's when everyone got there.
You had to pregame. And then go out.
Yep, exactly. You drink at home. She said a drink while I was doing my makeup, and then we'd go out at like. And the funny thing is, you do that for the first 2 years of your marriage. If you don't rush to have children, you still live that lifestyle. You just do it with your partner, and then after that, the kids start coming, and you start going to bed earlier.
And that's it.
The thought of I hang out with Ben and Tim, and. It's like, it's 9:30. I guess everyone's getting out of here now.
I tell my one brother, he everyone knows if we're doing anything at his house, 7:30, everyone's got to be out. He will give you a leniency period of 30 minutes. By 8 o'clock, your ass is gone. Why do we hang out here again? I don't blame him because he's up at 4:30, 5 o'clock every morning. He works 6-7 days a week, so I get it.
Yeah.
He works a minimum of 6 days a week.
I'm up at 5:30, 5:45. Just some days I don't feel like getting out of bed till 6:20. I'll just sit on my phone or, read articles and learn about all the horrible things happening around the world.
I can't. How do you do that? I can't. It hurts.
I don't look at social media in the morning. I just read articles.
I just assume that everything is burning and everything is bad. And then just assuming that without having to read everyone else's opinion about it. It's just like, oh, so heavy.
Doing a social post for Rare Drop.
What's that?
So I'm doing a social post for Rare Drop. I almost said shit instead of shirt in the social post. Is that it? Yeah. Anything else on your mind before we run out of here?
No, I'm feeling old, man.
There's a new Space Jam in that Warner Brothers catalog for HBO Max, by the way.
Stop it.
And a new Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat, yes, but you stop it with Space Jam.
A new Conjuring too.
Are they at least keeping Michael?
Who's Michael from what? For Space Jam? No, it's LeBron.
Yeah.
Yeah, LeBron was from what I've heard. They haven't shown a trailer or anything, but it was like last year or something. New Godzilla movie, the new Suicide Squad.
I don't accept your new Space Jam.
And Matrix 4.
I don't accept your new Space Jam.
I don't accept Matrix 4 because Matrix 2 and 3 were absolutely
Michael Jordan
garbage.
Is the only one that should be in a Space Jam ever.
I'm going to assume R. Kelly's not going to be back for that one either.
I'm going to assume the same. How do you do Space Jam without Bill Murray and Michael Jordan?
Wait, we didn't say no Bill Murray. Bill Murray might still be in it.
Doesn't matter if
he's
it's
also
not
in
Jordan, it's
Space
not
Jam for that long. You know that, right?
Huh?
He's not in Space Jam. He's only in the end for the basketball scene. Bill Murray.
Nah, he's in the beginning.
The beginning and the end. He's not in the main parts of the movie.
Still Bill fucking Murray.
Of course. My distant relative.
Dude, Space Jam without Michael Jordan is a no-go.
I would like Michael Jordan, but from what I've heard, it's LeBron James.
I don't accept this.
He didn't accept it, chat. I want to see that Tenet movie. I think that's available now to buy, right? Or rent.
Tenet? Which one's that?
Was that Christopher Nolan, I think?
When does Mel Gibson's Santa Claus movie come out?
The one about the kid who hires the hitman to kill Santa.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Badass Santa Claus, Mel Gibson.
I've been leaving Elf on in the background while I do things. I think that has become one of my favorites.
I watched that last night.
So good.
Dude, I watched it last night. Didn't even realize that was a 2003 film.
Yeah, I saw your post. That's it's pretty hilarious.
We're watching it, and I'm like, oh my God, Will Ferrell looks really young. And she looks it up. She goes, he was 32. Or no, 35? 30. He was early 30s. I was like, oh my God.
I did not realize that movie was that old either.
2003.
So how old is Zooey Deschanel now?
Oh my God.
I used to have the biggest crush on her.
So did my brother.
Have you ever heard her Christmas album from her band?
No.
Her band's called She and Him, and their Christmas album is phenomenal.
She is 40.
That's it. So she was in her 20s when she made that movie.
Born January 17th, 1980.
Oh man, she's not that much older than me. I didn't realize that. I know she's not married to she's married to somebody from Death Cab, right? Postal Service, one of those guys.
Jacob.
Not anymore. I think they got divorced.
Yeah, actually it looks like they got divorced this year.
Death Cab was one of those bands that I refused to like on principle when I was younger, and then when I got older, I was like, yeah, whatever, I like them now.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's fine. Before it was like, everyone else likes Death Cab. No, it's not punk rock. I don't like Death Cab. Too mainstream.
Not punk rock.
Now I'm like, yeah, it's a good Death Cab song. Whatever. I don't care. The older I get,
good.
The less picky. Well, actually, it's weird. The older I get, the more picky I am about my music. But some things like that from the past, I'm always like, yeah, it's good.
I just listen to the same shit. Like if Wayne suggests a band, listen to it. But generally, like I stick to everything that I just listen to. And
I'm getting all these freaking Sleep Token articles now because Wayne sent me all that stuff. I'm like, here are the top 20 masked bands in metal. Oh God, thank you, Sleep Token. Freaking Wayne. That's all I got. My notes are dry now. We talked about everything. Chat. I always call them chat. It's not chat. It's a podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Cool.
Yeah.
You got anything else? You good?
No.
Cool.
I'm gonna reach out and I want to see what I can turn this pre-order into.
Let me know how you fare with that, and we'll talk about it next week. We have 2 episodes left this year. Mike and I are off for 2 weeks after that. We're going to be off the week of Christmas, and we're going to be off the week of New Year's. So get your old fashioned in now. Like I said, we're going to be doing the charity stream on the Rare Drop channel next Friday night. That portion will be supporting Red Nose Day. We're going to be playing Surgeon Simulator. We're going to be giving away Surgeon Simulator codes because the devs were really nice and shot us some codes to give away. And you can go to the Rare Drop channel now, though, this weekend and support Able Gamers. Steven and the crew at Able Gamers are fantastic people. And Mike and I always talk about accessibility in gaming. And this is your chance to put your money where our mouth is.
Thank you.
And support Able Gamers this weekend. Which is a fantastic charity. KingsCoastCoffee.com. Get that cocoa. It's I don't know how much longer it's gonna last, especially with the buy two get one free deal and the limited offerings for the charity stream. I gotta find what is Paul's hot link for that. He made one and I did not look. Max will put it in the show notes. If not, they're advertising it on the channel, and Rare Drop's talking about it too. So thank you so much for supporting everything we do. Don't forget about that patreon.com/raredrop. Check out Mike. He's metric_methods with a Z on Twitter. I'm Kevin X Vision on Twitter, and you can check out more episodes of Old Fashioned Podcast. Go to raredrop.co, click podcast, click Old Fashioned, and now after this, there'll be 9 episodes there. And by the end of the year, there'll be 11, which I believe is more than WRS made last year. I would like to do next week or the week after that, Mike, our top, do a elimination bracket for Christmas movies.
Okay, I'm down.
I know we did that with WRS next year, but this is last year. This is a different show, so we'll do it again, and we'll just pick a bunch of Christmas movies at random and crown a king. We'll see if the crew can come on for that one as well, and do that. And then next year, like every so often, we'll do some brackets. Maybe do action movies. Maybe do Stallone movies or something at one point. Best shows on Netflix. I don't know. We can have a lot of fun with this. The Office will win that.
Oh, Office.
We did.
Well,
didn't
it's not
we?
going to
We
be
did
on Netflix soon.
We did best Office episode, didn't we?
No.
Oh, we only did it in chat. We never did an episode on it.
Yeah,
because we said Dinner Party will win, and then we were like, oh, it's about the journey, not. Dinner Party is the best episode of The Office.
Well, I mean, The Office is leaving Netflix soon, right?
Yeah, it's going to Peacock, which I told Danielle last night because I was watching The Office before I went to bed. I was like, we're gonna have to get Peacock. You know that, right?
Dude, it's so. Allie will be like, oh, let's start the Office over again. I'm like, nah. I got to watch The Office on my terms. I can't just sit down and just start it again. Got to be when I'm.
Do you watch the whole thing, or are you like me and you stop once Pam gets pregnant?
I watch the whole thing.
Once Pam gets pregnant, I'm usually out. I'm over it.
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
I don't blame you.
The show loses something once she's pregnant. That I don't know, character change. I don't know what it is.
It really starts to fall off for me, like when Jim's in Philly. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's really irritating.
And Pam and Jim's marital problems, and Andy's in charge of the office, and Andy's character change for me is just horrible.
Yeah. It really takes a nosedive around that time.
You know what episode I watched last night? Tweedledee, 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 rocking in the treetop all day. Sang all 4 parts, a cappella, recorded it on my computer. Large tuna, where is my cellular device? All right.
He is so angry.
That was
Nard dog.
That was an overreaction. And then at the end, he's like, it's a 10-week. They're sending me to management training, anger management. It's a 10-week program. I'll finish it in 5 weeks. How? Smiling, nodding, personality mirroring. That's the Andy I love.
So good.
That is the
God. Masterpiece.
Andy falls off. I think it's once Aaron breaks up with him the first time is when Andy's character gets weird.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But Aaron for me is one of the best characters they introduced. Weird. We'll do an episode on The Office. That's it. Mike and I are going to do an episode where we talk about The Office. Because we'll extend the life of the show. You got all the plugs. You heard all the things. Thank you for listening to episode 9 of the Old Fashioned Podcast. I hope you have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you next week, which will either next week or the week after will be the Christmas bracket for the movies. And then it's 2 weeks off for the holidays because I ain't doing shit for 2 weeks. Have a good one.
Woohoo.